Live from New Delhi, you're watching DT India Live, India's Voice to the World. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy gets a warm welcome at Downing Street in London ahead of European leaders' key summit. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer assures Ukraine of UK's full backing. Israel approves the US proposal to extend truce in Gaza through Muslim holy month of Ramadan and Jewish Passover holiday in mid-April. Kurdistan Workers' Party declares ceasefire with Turkey after more than 40 years of conflict. President Tayyip Erdogan warns Turkey will resume operations against PKK if disarmament stalls. 4 die among 51 workers rescued from avalanche-hit BRO camp in the Chamoli district in the Himalayan state of Uttarakhand. Rescuers race against time to trace 4 more labourers feared trapped. And in cricket, India to face New Zealand in the final Group A match of the Champions Trophy in Dubai. And on to the details now. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy received a warm welcome at 10 Downing Street on Saturday, a stark contrast to his tense meeting with US President Donald Trump at the White House the previous day. Zelenskyy was greeted with huge hugs and handshakes by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and expressed gratitude to the British people for their support.
In Downing Street. As you heard from the cheers on the street outside, you have full backing across the United Kingdom. And we stand with you, with Ukraine, for as long as it may take. And I hope you heard some of that cheering in the street. That is the people of the United Kingdom coming out to demonstrate how much they support you, how much they support Ukraine, and our absolute determination to stand with you, unwavering determination, and to achieve what we both want to achieve, which is a lasting peace for Ukraine based on sovereignty and security for Ukraine.
Well, during his visit, Zelenskyy also witnessed the signing of a £2.26 billion loan agreement between the UK and Ukraine. The loan, facilitated by British Finance Minister Rachel Reeves, will be repaid using profits from frozen Russian assets.
Thank you very much. And that's our side of it. And in the next few days, the disbursements of money, we should be able to make those to Ukraine. I know that they are needed as quickly as possible. Thank you so much, Minister, for being able to join us today.
Well, Zelenskyy's visit to London is part of a broader European tour, which includes a summit with European leaders on Sunday and a meeting with King Charles. The Ukrainian leader's diplomatic efforts come amid ongoing tensions with Russia. Well, also, Israel has agreed to a US-backed proposal to extend a truce in Gaza, covering the Muslim holy month of Ramadan and the Jewish Passover holiday in April. This temporary ceasefire aims to maintain calm during these significant religious periods. According to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office, the extension was proposed by US President Donald Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff. The initial phase of the ceasefire, which took effect on January 19th, expired on Saturday. A second phase was intended to secure the release of dozens of hostages held in Gaza and pave the way for lasting peace. Well, also the extension provides a critical window for renewed negotiations, but the long-term prospects for a permanent ceasefire remain uncertain. And a large gathering of demonstrators in Israel's Tel Aviv expressed urgency for the immediate release of 59 hostages still held in Gaza. The first phase of the ceasefire has come to an end, amplifying concerns for the captives' safety. Families and supporters held photos and flags underscoring the emotional toll of the ongoing hostage crisis. The crowd emphasized the need for swift action to secure the hostages' freedom. As the situation remains unresolved, the gathering served as a poignant reminder of the human cost of the conflict. With time running out, the focus remains on negotiating the safe release of the hostages. And a historic move, the Kurdistan Workers' Party has declared an immediate ceasefire and announced plans to disarm, responding to a call of its jailed leader, Abdullah Öcalan. The announcement marks a crucial step towards ending the 4-decade-long conflict with Turkey. However, the group stresses that certain political and democratic conditions must be met for lasting peace.
A historic shift in Turkey's long-running conflict with Kurdish militants. Outlawed Kurdish rebels have declared a ceasefire, responding to a landmark appeal from jailed PKK leader Abdullah Öcalan, who has urged the group to disband and end over 40 years of armed struggle.
Convene the Congress and take a decision to integrate with the state and society. All groups must lay their arms and the PKK must dissolve itself.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has welcomed the move, calling it a new stage in Turkey's fight against terror. However, he warned that Ankara will closely monitor whether the ceasefire is fully upheld.
Almost all of the excuses that the terrorist organization used as a tool for exploitation for a period of time have either been eliminated, resolved, or the solution has been put in place. The efforts for a terrorism-free Turkey have entered a new phase as of. We have the opportunity to take a historic step on the path to the goal of tearing down the wall of terrorism that has been built between a 1,000-year-old brotherhood.
The United Nations has also praised Öcalan's appeal, calling it a glimmer of hope for lasting peace.
I think we've all seen the reports coming out of Turkey regarding Abdullah Öcalan, the imprisoned leader of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, the PKK, and his message calling for his fighters to lay down their arms and for the PKK to dissolve itself. The Secretary General welcomes this important development. This represents a glimmer of hope which would lead to a resolution of a long-standing conflict.
Meanwhile, scenes of celebration erupted across Kurdish communities in Syria, Iraq and Turkey as thousands took to the streets, hoping that this marks the end of decades of bloodshed.
Today it's an amazing day, historical day. Everyone all the world and all the part of Kurdistan is waiting for this amazing day. Actually, the statement Abdullah published is amazing.
But with deep-rooted tensions and past ceasefires collapsing, the world watches closely. Will this be the moment that finally ends the conflict or not? With Bureau Inputs, Amish Mahajan's report for DD India.
Well, Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan warned that Turkey would pursue anti-PKK fight unless the group kept their pledge to disband. Speaking at an event in Istanbul on the first day of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, Erdogan said Turkey will resume operations against the PKK if the disarmament process is stalled, and assured families that the process would not hinder counter-terrorism.
Bize 40 yıldır ağır insani ve ekonomik maliyeti olan bir sorunu.
Turkey is the most powerful, capable and resilient country not only in our region but also in the world in terms of fighting terrorism within and outside its borders. If the promises given are not kept and the process is somehow tried to evolve into oriental tricks such as telling, delaying, deceiving, changing names and doing whatever it wants, we cannot be blamed for what happens. We will continue our ongoing operation if necessary, without leaving a single stone standing, without leaving heads on shoulders, until the last terrorist is eliminated.
Dünyanın en güçlü
Well, Guyana President Irfan Ali said that Venezuelan patrol vessels entered an ExxonMobil unit in maritime territory claimed by Guyana. Guyanese president in a state transmission said that a Venezuelan armed patrol ship entered Guyana's waters, adding that during this incursion, the Venezuelan vessel approached various assets in our exclusive waters.
This morning, Saturday, 1st of March 2025, at approximately 7 hours, a Venezuelan armed patrol ship entered Guyana's waters. During this incursion, the Venezuelan vessel approached various assets in our exclusive waters, including FPSO Prosperity. Our assets and FPSO Prosperity are operating lawfully within Guyana's exclusive economic zone.
Well, Uruguay is set for a political shift to the centre-left as Yamandu Orsi took office on Saturday as the country's next president. Orsi, a 57-year-old former mayor who was backed by leftist ex-president Joseph Mujica, narrowly won the November election against the ruling centre-right coalition. As a moderate, Orsi has promised to strike a different balance between social welfare and economic growth by ushering in what he described as a modern left agenda. Orsi delivered his first address to the people at Independence Square, saying a future and a challenge await for Uruguay.
This country has been governed by different parties, but always taking care of and respecting the identity and ideas of each one. A future and a challenge await us, but undoubtedly, if we always have in mind that sensitivity that must be here, that sensitivity that those who preceded us have had, the heart and reason poured into the destiny of our homeland, have no doubt that the future will be adventurous. Thank you very much.
Well, the U.S. is deploying nearly 3,000 additional troops to its Mexico border, bringing the total to around 9,000. This move is part of President Trump's border security efforts, a key priority since he declared a national emergency on his first day in office. The troops will assist in detection, monitoring, and administrative tasks, however, will not be involved in interdiction or deportation operations. Trump hailed his administration's efforts, stating that the invasion of our country is over. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth visited the southern border last month, vowing to get control of this border and warning drug cartels that all options are on the table. Hegseth also mentioned using Defense Department assets to support detention and expulsion of illegal immigrants, including the Guantanamo Bay base. Trump plans to hold up to 30,000 migrants at the base, despite its notorious past. And U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday ordered a new trade investigation that could heap more tariffs on imported lumber, adding to existing duties on Canadian software lumber and 25% tariffs on all Canadian and Mexican goods due next week. In his third new tariff probe in a week, Trump signed a memo ordering Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to initiate a national security investigation into U.S. lumber imports under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. The trade law is the one Trump also used to impose tariffs on global steel and aluminium imports. Well, the probe covers derivative products made from lumber, which could include furniture such as kitchen cabinets, which in some cases are made of U.S. lumber that had been exported. The order said the Commerce Department investigation must be completed within 270 days. Well, U.S. President Trump has signed an executive order designating English as the official language of the United States. The move aims to promote national unity and cohesion, citing English as the country's founding language. The order revokes a Clinton-era mandate requiring federal agencies to provide non-English language assistance. While agencies will still offer support in other languages, the decision has sparked controversy. The U.S. is home to over 350 languages, with nearly 68 million people speaking a language other than English at home. Critics argue the move may marginalize non-English speakers, while supporters see it as a step towards national unity. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. US federal workers hit with second wave of emails. Vatican says Pope Francis remains in stable condition. And holy month of Ramadan begins for Muslims with crescent moon.
India is known as the land of yoga. Few extraordinary individuals have taken this magic of ancient wisdom to people around the world.
Paramahansa Yogananda taught that, the basic law of right human behavior is self-reform. And that means if we can put the majority of our effort to changing ourselves for the better, then we will influence others in the world by our example. India has its ancient teachings of yoga has a real place to play in the developing world civilization and what it means to be a global citizen, to consider the whole world kind of in your embrace.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Vipakshi Khurana. Moving on, Pope Francis, who has been hospitalized for over 2 weeks with double pneumonia, remains in stable condition. The 88-year-old pontiff showed signs of improvement with no recurrence of the previous day's respiratory crisis. Vatican said Pope spent extended periods of non-invasive mechanical ventilation, indicating better lung function. The Vatican also said that Pope did not have a fever and did not show signs of new infection, adding that the prognosis was still guarded, meaning he was not yet out of danger. Well, the Trump administration sent out a second round of emails on Friday evening demanding all federal employees summarize their work over the past week. The emails from the government's human resources arm, the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, were sent to multiple agencies. The move marks a renewed push by Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency team to assess the performance of government employees. This comes as the administration looks to mass layoffs to dramatically trim the federal footprint. And the UN Under-Secretary General of Peace Operations, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, on a visit in Beni in the east of the Congo, said that the United Nations Organization's stabilization mission in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is actively preparing to play a role in supervising compliance with the ceasefire.
I told the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister, I reiterated here to Mr. Governor Monusco, is actively preparing to play a role in supervising the ceasefire, knowing that obviously a ceasefire, when it materializes, will require the commitment of the involved parties.
Well, the holy month of Ramadan commenced today in India and other parts of Asia after the sighting of the crescent moon on Saturday. Ramadan is a sacred month in Islam that falls in the 9th month of the Hijri or Islamic lunar calendar. Fasting in Ramadan, the 9th and the holiest month in the Islamic calendar, is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and this is the time of the year when religious fervor is rekindled throughout the Muslim world. The holy month, during which hundreds of millions of faithful around the world observe a daytime fast, traditionally begins with the sighting of the crescent moon. In Saudi Arabia and most Sunni-related ruled Middle Eastern states, Ramadan had begun on Saturday. And in India's hilly state of Uttarakhand, 51 workers have been pulled out of snow from the site of an avalanche-hit BRO camp in Mana village in Chamoli district, but 4 of them died on Saturday as rescuers raced against time to trace 4 more labourers feared trapped. According to the latest rescue updates provided by the Uttarakhand State Disaster Management Authority, 5 labourers were missing, but 1 of them has reached home safely on his own, and now the research is focused on the 4 remaining workers. The avalanche hit the Border Roads Organisation camp between Mana and Badrinath between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. on Friday, burying 55 workers inside 8 containers and a shed, according to the army. And week-long Swayambhu Festival celebrations ends in Kathmandu Valley, organized by Kathmandu Metropolitan. The festival highlighted the historical, cultural and religious significance of Swayambhu, a UNESCO heritage site in Nepal. It is a sacred pilgrimage site for Buddhists. The festival, themed Pride of Ancestors, Nepali Glory, featured cultural performances, traditional art exhibitions, indigenous cuisine, health camps, blood donations, Ranjana script writing and face painting activities. And in sports news, India-New Zealand are set to face off in the final Group A match of the Champions Trophy 2025 in Dubai on Sunday. With the semi-final spots already secured, both teams are strengthening their position in the top two and address any lingering concerns before the knockout stage. Both sides boast formidable batting lineups and quality spin options, making for an evenly contested matchup. However, New Zealand's pace attack could prove to be a greater challenge for the Indian batters compared to the bowling resources available to Rohit Sharma's team. And as India and New Zealand prepare to battle for the top spot in Group A of ICC Champions Trophy, fans can expect a high-octane clash between two informed teams on Sunday in Dubai. With both sides already secured semi-final berths, this encounter serves as a perfect dress rehearsal for the knockout stage.
India will take on New Zealand in their final Group A match of the ICC Champions Trophy 2025. The game will be played at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium on Sunday. Captain Rohit Sharma's side has already secured a semi-final spot with 2 wins in 2 matches. India head into this contest with momentum after a dominant 6-wicket win over Pakistan. Virat Kohli's unbeaten century sealed the victory in Dubai. India started their campaign with a 6-wicket win over Bangladesh, courtesy Shubman Gill's scintillating turn. Newly appointed vice-captain Gill has been leading run scorer for India in this Champions Trophy, having amassed 147 runs in 2 matches. Among other batters, Kohli featured second on the list with 122 runs. Talking about the bowling department, where pacer Mohammad Shami has been recurring chief for India, 5 wickets, while fast bowling partner Harshit Rana has 4 scalps against his name. New Zealand, led by Mitchell Santner, have also confirmed their semi-final spot. They defeated Bangladesh by 5 wickets in Rawalpindi, powered by Rachin Ravindra's 112. Earlier, they outplayed Pakistan by 60 runs in the opening match in Karachi. This match will decide the Group A topper. Regardless of the result, India will play the first semi-final in Dubai on March 4. New Zealand will feature in the second semi-final in Lahore on March 5. India have a better head-to-head record, winning 60 of their 118 ODIs against New Zealand. Kiwis have won 50, while one match ended in a tie. 7 ODIs had no result. The last ODI meeting between the two sides was 2023 World Cup semi-final. India won that game by 70 runs in Mumbai. They will look to repeat that success and finish the group stage on a high. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, New Zealand has been India's Achilles heel in ICC tournaments, often derailing their title hopes. DD India's Narayan Singh uncovers 5 key strategies for India's final group match against New Zealand in the battle of table toppers in the ICC Champions Trophy.
The Indian cricket team will look to maintain their unbeaten run when they square off against New Zealand in their final Group A match of the ICC Champions Trophy 2025. Talking about India's record, India has won just 5 of the 15 ICC clashes against them. A strong strategy is needed to turn the tide. Let's take a look. The first, stick to the basics. Overcomplicating things has hurt India before. Keeping it simple worked in the 2023 World Cup, where India beat New Zealand in the semis. Trust the process, play smart and treat them like any other opponent. Second, exploit their weaknesses. Study New Zealand closely. For example, Kane Williamson thrives on third-man singles early in his innings. Cutting off those easy runs can create pressure on Kiwis. Apart from this, India's defensive approach after the power play hurt them in the 2023 World Cup final. Staying aggressive, throughout is the key. Third, follow the 2023 blueprint. India's 2023 World Cup win over New Zealand had a clear formula, defined batting roles. Rohit Sharma attacked early, Rohit and Kohli and Gill anchored, and Iyer finished very strong. Structured bowling plans. Each bowler had a role at the different stages. Therefore, the clarity and discipline must remain the focus. Fourth one, attack with two specialist spinners. We all know that New Zealand struggles against the wrist spin. India should play Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti alongside Ravindra Jadeja. Kuldeep has 20 wickets in 11 ODIs against the Kiwi team, and Varun's mystery element can be a game changer. And Jadeja's accuracy adds control, forcing the mistake for the opponent. Fourth one, and the most important, strengthen batting depth. All in all, a deep batting lineup is essential for India. They have to. Akshar Patel and Rishabh Pant can add stability at the lower order, and the 2025 Champions Trophy provides a perfect stage for redemption. So it's time for India to give New Zealand a taste of their own medicine and rewrite the history.
Well, India's reigning world chess champion T. Gukesh has attained career best number 3 ranking in the latest FIDE classical ratings. The 18-year-old Gukesh has gained 10 rating points to reach 2,787. He's now behind Hikaru Nakamura of the USA, while Norwegian chess legend Magnus Carlsen continues to be the top-ranked chess player in the world. Meanwhile, Pragananda has entered the top 10 for the first time since July last year. He's climbed to the 8th position, while another Indian chess player, Arjun Erigaisi, has dropped to number 5 spot. In the women category, Konaru Hampi remains the only Indian in the top 10. She is on the 6th place. Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.